And we're live. Here we are. Set this up. For those people watching later, per usual, kind of boring. A whole lot better if you join us live and ask questions. And what am I doing here? Not supposed to be surfing YouTube. I'm supposed to be going live. Right. 4 people here already. 6 people. Brandon has a question. Okay, go for it. Hey, James. Put all this stuff away. Barry, Dennis, PA Dan. It's kind of late for a live session, and I'm cooked, but I didn't go live last night, so I figured I had to go live tonight. And I'll tell you guys honestly, I was not happy with the live session from the previous night on that 372 tank vent, and I wanted to give I actually want to give it another go, but not tonight. So I want to give it another go with a couple of suggestions potentially from 2 guys. Craig suggested doing it from the other side, and I want to at least explore that. Sean, never too late to learn something. Sean, I hope you're here to teach me something, because that'd be cool. Brandon, how do you adjust the carburetor on a chainsaw? I'll get to that. So anyway, yeah, Craig Timmons had a suggestion to do it from the opposite end, and I want to at least explore that. But Ronnie Buck came on and made a point about using heat shrink tubing on an OEM tank vent. So I want to at least explore that a little bit with you guys as well. So, yeah. Anyway, I just wasn't happy with the other night. It doesn't sit well with me. It was kind of a crappy night, and I'm sorry, guys. That was kind of a crappy live session. Brandon, the best video for... Well, actually, here, the best video for carburetor adjustment on a chainsaw is actually M. Weba has a great video on that on YouTube. So if you want to watch MWEBA, M. Weba has how to adjust a carburetor on a chainsaw. It's the reason I haven't done a video like that, because he does a great job of it. It's a great video. There's really no need for me to go over it when his video is good. Steve, Small Engine Saloon, yeah, probably that's probably a good one. I haven't seen too much of Steve's Small Engine Saloon, but I've heard good things. So check out M. Weba's video on that if you want to know how to do a carburetor. So anyway, I need to get a set of pliers with a 90-degree bend on them in order to properly do what we were trying to do with that tank vent. So I want to explore like 3 things, and we'll do it in another video another day, and I'll take this thing back apart in order to do it, because I just wasn't happy with how it turned out the other night. I was very frustrated. Made for a friggin' useless live session, you know? Anyway. So, let's see. I've got some cool goodies coming from Nate at Performance Outdoor. I'm waiting on those. And what else is going on? What else is going on with you guys? Are you guys working on any cool projects? I figured I'd just sharpen up a little bit more on this chain here while we're hanging out. But are you guys working on anything cool? I saw Nicky actually got his 394 running. I thought that was good. I saw that. I think he couldn't help himself with the with that. I guess it's not, the parts aren't quite as nice as he'd like, but he just figured, yeah, I'm just gonna put this back together and see how it goes, so good for him. I still haven't found my calipers. There's Nikki. I was just talking about you. Just saying how you couldn't help yourself. You had to. You had to get that thing running, didn't you? Still can't find my calipers. What the heck I did with them? I know. When I finally unbury everything on this bench here, it'll show up, right? I don't know. Oh, weird. Alright, let's... put this up here. Just going to sharpen some chain here while I'm hanging out with you guys. Let's bring this down here. Clean a bench? No, because I don't know how. And if I knew how, I wouldn't tell you. I'm just kidding, of course. Oh yeah, calipers might be Bridgeport. 3 weeks now. Great. Alright, what do we got here? How does that look, guys? Does that look okay? Does that look pretty good for sharpening chain? Chain was I mean, this was, looks like it was run into concrete. I rocked this good. Sean, most of the time, Sean, most of the time, most of the guys around here are running modified chainsaws, so you just using EPA settings is probably not going to cut it. Does Steel 026 have some idling problem? Not that I know of. Brandon, per usual, I'm going to ask the question, when was the last rebuild? And dinner was good. I had a great time. We got a few to go. Jeez, 28-inch chain. Takes a while to sharpen. Nice JKG. Sir, is there a chain sharpener in Bosch? Not that I know of. Brandon, if the answer... Hey, William. Brandon, if the answer is I don't know, then it probably needs a rebuild. New seals, new bearings, the whole shoot. On an 026... those, you know, those things are old, and it very well could need new seals. Less chat. William Prophet, say hi to my wife Kate. Hi Kate, how are you? Not too many, just like fucking Billy Ray, not too many females visit, but once in a while you have one around, it's great. Thank you. What was the biggest piston and jug I put on my Husky 3? The 351 my neighbor just gave me. A Husky 351. The 351s aren't typically sold in the States, so I don't know what head it comes with, but you should be able to put the OEM 346 XP head on it, and that's pretty much the best head that you can get. Oh dear. Ah! Sorry. Still there? Okay. Are you back? Yeah, 44.3, Sean. Yeah, 44.3. I crowded the camera, yeah. Now I don't remember where I am in the sharpening. Great. but the 351 is a metal case, so you should be able to run a 44.3 without too much trouble. The only bigger one that's on there is the Husky 350 pseudo open port, which is 45 millimeter. And if you want to, split hairs, Highway's aftermarket 346 XP clone is actually 45 millimeters instead of 44.3. But either way, that's usually the biggest that you're going to run on there. Is either, if you want a straight up replacement, just get the OEM 346 XP cylinder head. It's like $110. William, is Kate still watching, or is she bored out of her gourd right now? Yeah, the 45 millimeter, if you get the pseudo open port one, then it's a 346 XP, but that's just because of the transfer port configuration. The pseudo open port 45 millimeter head is inherent to the 350s, and it was designed, I think, to be detuned effectively compared to the 346 XP. I don't know why they made anything but the 346 XP, but they did, so whatever. And what they did was the Husky 350 with the pseudo open port head actually had a dished piston on it, so it would lower compression. So you'd only get 110 pounds out of that thing, which is crazy, but they ran like that just fine. So the easiest upgrade was to throw a 353 45 millimeter piston in there, and you'd be up to 150 pounds plus without too much trouble. So you get an instant power boost, and it's darn close to a 346 XP. But if you want to, get the best head, then you want the 346 XP head, which is 44.3. It's arguable that the Highway is as good at 45 millimeter, but it depends. I mean, all kinds of things depend on that. Good questions, though. Keep them coming. William, is Kate still watching? Are you bored, Kate? Sorry. Sean, you're very welcome. Barry, I don't know if Amweeba is actually making videos anymore, is he? Hey, John. Hey, David. Are they super sharp? No, but they'll do. They'll do. I'm not going to do the other side tonight. But figured wanted to come on and hang out with you. And Manuel Bob, what's going on? Nikki, I just sent him that one that we rebuilt. Whatever's going on with the other oiler, I'm pretty sure I went through it and rebuilt it, but whatever's going on with the other oiler, he doesn't need to be dealing with that. So I just sent him the other one. Of course, that's my last one, but whatever. What else is going? I ordered some more threaded rod today, some 5/8 threaded rod, so I'll get that to the machine. I have to cut it and then get it to the machinist, but Brandon, you know what I didn't like about Husky? What? Have I completed the 350 build? Yeah, that's done. You must have missed it. All I needed to do was put the chain brake on. Are you applying straight down only? No, this unit has an angle to it. I don't actually know what the angle is, but I can figure it. Hang on, let me do that. Get my clinometer out. Here we go. I can just put this on here. So this is tilted over at roughly 30 degrees. Yeah, roughly it's roughly coming down at a 30-degree angle. If straight up and down is 0, it's tilted over 30 degrees. I'd like to be able to tilt it a little further, but this is not adjustable in that sense. The angle set this way is also 30 degrees, which I can set up to 35 degrees, but the witness marks on most of the chain is actually at 30. Go back over here. Yeah, Bob, the 350 was not very exciting. I just putting the chain brake back on, the chain brake handle back on. Hopefully the rest of it turns out fine. Should be around 60 degrees. You think so? That steep? I can't adjust it on this thing, so whatever. Is the chain brake and the kill switch. Oh, you don't like that on the Huskies. Yeah, everybody's got different preferences on those. Drew, hi. Hey, Drew. I haven't seen you around here before. Welcome. You prefer hand sharpening because if you're not careful, the wheel will get hot and turn the metal blue. Yes, for sure. And William Eisen, how's it going? Drew, yeah, for sure. The reason I'm using this right now is that this chain is really rocked, and you can remove a whole lot more material on this with the grinder. A whole lot. I mean, it's a 28-inch chain, and full comp. It's semi chisel, unfortunately, but you really can. When you have a really rock chain, you got to remove a lot of material quickly, and hand filing just is not the ticket for that. So I'm just trying to get it back to some semblance of okay, and then I can hand file it further if I need to. Yeah, Mitch Weber is no longer no new videos in his channel. Polon is a good. Okay, James. Yeah, Mitch Weber. He's got some really good videos. One of the videos of his that didn't really work for me was how to remove a bearing from a crankshaft, and he was using just heat, and I've never been able to replicate that. You really need a bearing puller to remove bearings from a crankshaft, and even then, it's hard. I started on replacing fuel bulb, cleaning barb, 445X torque. Hope to finish tomorrow. Okay. Good. Yeah, James, I hope your ankle gets better, buddy. Yeah, Drew, you're right. I mean, I have the diamonds for my Dremel, and those work pretty good. I still like hand filing a lot, and I do hand filing quite a bit. Um, but if I've got a whole pile of rock chains, what I end up doing is I'll just save them up for the wintertime here, and throw them on here, and that way, I also can hang out with you guys for a little bit while I'm doing something mundane, as opposed to, I'm waiting for parts on some stuff here, so I might as well have something to do, you know. Brandon, I didn't work today. I was actually off. Somebody, I guess, I guess for whatever reason there weren't that many patients scheduled, so or at least for me, I have a full day tomorrow. I mean, I'm there 8 to 7 tomorrow. I don't know what happened with today, so they offered the day off, and I said okay. So I did some relaxing today, and then I went to dinner tonight, and the a good friend came up, and we had dinner, but it took him 2 hours to get here. 'But tomorrow I'm gonna be long day. I don't know if I'll get to go live tomorrow night. 21 people watching me just hanging out and sharpening chain. It's 9:30. Ah, I need to go to bed. Um, just so I just again what I was saying earlier. I really wasn't happy with the live session. It wasn't last night. It was the night before. I really wasn't happy with that tank vent. I got very frustrated with it, and I'm not happy with the live session at all. And I want to revisit that when I get a minute, possibly even Friday. I need to get it. I need to get a set of pliers that actually has a right angle, and I wanted to say that Craig Timmons had an idea that I want to explore, and I think and Ronnie Buck had an interesting idea having to do with heat shrink tubing. Um, so he actually has been using for a while, and it works for him. So I want to revisit some ideas on how to fix that tank vent on the aftermarket 372 tanks, gas tanks. Oh, Ronnie's here. Oh, I was just mentioning you, Ronnie. Barry, do I use a tack? No, I don't. I don't. I just don't have one. Um, I I could. I could buy one. They're what, $100? I'm just not there. I'll get there maybe. Nikki, you should just ignore the 372 tank vent from the other night. That's what you should do. Did you ever float teeth on a horse? No. James, those meds, man. The meds, James. Ronnie, I'm in Farmington, Connecticut. Too many meds and not enough nurses, right? Come on, guys. Ronnie, you're in Tennessee. Okay. What part of Tennessee? Lexington. North, south, east, west. West. Okay. Sean, Matt, thank you for your input. Looking forward to the next live stream. Very good. Sean, I look forward to him too. Just so you know, I look forward to him. I really don't have any. Um, I don't have any upcoming chainsaw projects. I'm just finishing. I think I've got that 394 to finish, and then literally all my chainsaws are going to be out of the basement, which is wonderful. Honestly, chainsaws have consumed my life for years now, and it's not like I want to get away from them necessarily, but I have other things to do. So I don't know what's going to happen to the channel here and whatnot, but I've really enjoyed hanging out with you guys. Garth, have you ever used the grinder to go back through and take down the depth gauges? No, just because I know you can do it. Um, I don't think it's that hard to do it with a hand file. For doing rakers um, with a hand file, it's just not that hard to do on the saw. So I don't even worry about it like that. And I'm also not the guy that measures each single one. I try to keep the chain even, left to right, and I keep the rake, and then it makes sense for me to keep the raker gauges even as well. And I just count swipes and do a couple of swipes, and if it's too grabby, then I knock the teeth down a little bit more. In general, yeah, I'm not advertising that as the way to do chain. I don't. I'm not a chain guy, so I happen to be doing chain because I like hanging out with you guys. But this is not necessarily a how-to on how to do chain. Does that make sense? I do the rakers with a flat file, but it's hard to get right. The less, the better. Depends on what wood you're cutting. You know, if it's pine, you might want it a little more grabby. If it's hardwood, you might want it not quite so grabby, and that way you keep the chain speed up. You know. Yeah, keeping it all even is hard. You know, chain really is an art, and I'm not the guy. You know. The infomercial tonight, of course, is I have 394s for sale. So I have the one that is in my live video from, was it last week, and I have another one coming up. So if anybody wants a 394, they can get in touch with me. Yeah, there certainly are guys that have done it. You know, I ideally you'd probably have to profile this so that it's flat, and then bring it down so it's flat, and you can set the depth pretty easily. Zing, 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 and you're done. Granted, if you're a lower bar, um, for lower than that other one, and then I'll just keep the newer one for myself. But I for the ones I'm rebuilding, the ones I've just rebuilt, I probably have $700 in parts into each of them. I have six of them already. Hey, have you done a video to take a link out of a chain? No. Um, I have not done that, but I'm sure there's got to be other videos of how to pop links out of chains. Let me think. I don't have a chain breaker. I have a spinner, but it's like nearly brand new. But I don't have a chain breaker. I need to get one. Ronnie Buck, the tank vent worked for me, but if they were to do it again, I would measure the depth of the tank so it wouldn't bottom out for sure. That same ways, but I don't know. Yeah, you know, Ronnie, you could probably just nip off the end of that when you insert it, and then it doesn't bottom out. But whatever. Sean, can I mod the 351, or would it be better to leave stock? Oh, you can mod that like crazy. And I've got plenty of videos on that. All you have to do, Sean, all you have to do is look up my 350 videos, and you can see what I'm doing on those, on how I modify them. You can play with those things like all. You can go completely crazy if you want. John, nice to see you're getting caught up on things. I've been riding on dirt bikes a lot recently. Got the 440 out. Good luck for your future. Thanks, John. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm starting to feel more caught up, which is great. Um, but it also means that I'm kind of slowing down in the chainsaw stuff. So yeah, bittersweet there. Take care, William. Straight to buffering mode. Sorry. Make sure that we're not buffering here. No, we're good. I better get out of here. Anybody have any other questions, especially about tools or anything like that? Do I know how to turn down a 3120? Ronnie, there was a thread on that. Mastermind did a thread on that on OPE, how to modify um, a 3120 carburetor, I think. What's the difference between open port and closed port? It's a good question. I don't have a great way to describe it at this point. A closed port has to do with the transfer ports in a two cycle motor, and the transfer ports are basically completely enclosed. They go out really wide around the cylinder head and then re-enter up higher, effectively above the piston. So you have effectively a tunnel, and an open port actually has that tunnel, but the side of the piston is part of the tunnel. I have a lot of old steel saws and a few Huskies if I need it. Now I've got a dozen. I've got a dozen Huskies, or a dozen. I have about a dozen saws, and I have half an acre, so I don't really need them. Whatever. Am I going to keep the channel going? I'd like to. I don't know what form it's going to take. If somebody, I'd like to get this space better. I'd like to get I've got all kinds of stuff to do on the house. Um, Stuff to do with the shed, the yard, all that. I don't know if that makes for good YouTube stuff. If I find something, obviously I'll do it. I still have video to catch up on as far as editing stuff and posting stuff, which I just haven't done, mostly because I hate editing and I love hanging out with you guys. Drew, thanks for the video. Looking forward to more. Do any content you want and take care. Thanks, Drew. Appreciate that. That's cool. Nice to know that people want to see pretty much anything out of me, which is great. Again, I, I I want to have something to offer. You know, I really I wanted to do. I started out the channel because I was always doing something weird around the house. I was always doing some project of some kind, and it was something that people hadn't necessarily put on YouTube before. So that's kind of why I started, and I don't think that's going to change. Um, I just I run into real world problems, and as you can see from the other night, I got frustrated with that tank vent. So I have very real problems that take up a lot of time, and they can be very boring and frustrating. And I want to share good stuff with you guys, stuff that I think is going to be relevant to somebody else. Yeah, you really can't beat the live chat, especially for evenings like this. If you want to hang out, ask questions, whatever, Ronnie, I wish I could give you a link. I can't, but I know that Mastermind did a thread on modifying 3120 carburetors. Thanks, James. Appreciate it. Banmo Bob. My 365 special has started to run really good. Only replace rings and clean up the cylinder. Um, Bob, definitely check your the torque on the head bolts, and if that thing has never had seals replaced, you should do it. You know. Agree with Drew and James. Just nice to chat, get your opinions, input, and feedback. Yeah, Garth, and I definitely don't have all the answers, and it's nice that that you guys can come on here and share good thoughts with others. You know, I think that's great. Sean, understood. Good explanation. Thank you. Do you have any prior videos explaining benefits? Yeah, Sean, you can go back, but all you have to do is search for 350. I did a comparison of all the 346 XP 350 cylinder heads. I tried to do a comparison of the heads. I think there's more information in that video. You can go look at that. Yeah, Ronnie, that's kind of high for a 3120, I think. New carb as well as boot. Yeah, it could be the ring breaking in. Just make sure you're not RPMing that thing too much. 14,000 is probably a little too much, type of thing. Just yeah, check those head bolts. Make sure they're tight. And Bob, if you haven't done it, check out M Weba's video on tuning the chainsaw, and it's a good one. You can listen, and actually, it was in my 394 video recently, the one for sale. When I when I pin it full throttle, you can hear it go up to RPM, sit there, and burble. And then as soon as you put it in the wood to full depth of the bar, so I had a 32 on that day, buried the 32, and the sound cleaned up. And then what you're supposed to do is actually lift the saw out of the wood, and it should go back to that higher RPM, but with a burble. It's called four stroking, and then back into the wood should clean right up. Also, Bob, if you can take that high needle and bring it out a little bit and see if the RPMs come down, and then bring it back in and see if the RPMs go back up. Obviously full throttle RPM. If you can't, if you can actually adjust it like that, then the carburetor is functioning properly, and then you can set it wherever you want it. Your rear filter helps. Good, Ronnie. Octillion, keep an eye. Your plug color tells you everything you need to know. Plug color is a little variable. Some debate on that. I won't go into that. And my kids are going to bed, so let me go. And yeah, I'm going to go. Thanks so much, everybody, for hanging out. I do appreciate it. Tomorrow night, I don't know if I'll be on. If I can, maybe I'll come on a little later. It's a long day for me. Um, 50 to 1, so run 30 to 1, and don't worry. Sean, for the love of God, don't binge watch me. It's too boring. Have a great night, everybody. Take care. Be safe, okay?